another edition of Wrestling Sheet Radio. I am your host, ProWrestlingSheet.com editor-in-chief Ryan Satin, here with my co-hosts, Jamie Iovine.
Hey, everybody.
As well as Elijah Bates.
Heyo.
Got the full team back together today, and there's a lot of things that have happened in the world of wrestling this week. I don't think anything like major
Not like
really
last
has
week,
gone
but
down.
The presses weren't stopped.
No, there's no press stopping. No.
The press slams, on the other hand.
Stop the presses.
I got where you were going with that. Not that good though. I got where you were going with it though.
Thanks, Ryan.
Are you guys watching Super ShowDown on tomorrow? Right, tomorrow? Yeah,
it is tomorrow.
On tomorrow.
On tomorrow.
On the morrow.
On morrow.
I feel like Super ShowDown is something that's more going to be like a Saturday morning cartoons-like experience to me, just because it comes on when I'm at work, and so it's not necessarily something. Also, we were just talking about it. It's like I don't think anybody's seen one of these Saudi shows yet and been like, that was a really good show. But they're interesting.
No, and I think the reason why a lot of people are so interested in them is because I guess the potential for something happening is always there.
Yeah.
They haven't really taken many risks with the show. The only risk they really took was bringing back Hogan.
Yeah.
And
I think it was a risk doing a whole second Royal Rumble. Like, that was a completely different event. When they did
it wasn't a risk that was going to affect the show one way or the other.
No, I think it was a risk to, take one of your biggest events and be like, hey, we're doing another one of them that's even better than the one that we do every
well, now
year.
they say this one's even better than the last one.
I laugh every time at those commercials when they say they changed it, because initially it was as good or better than WrestleMania, and now it's
on the level.
Now it's the pay-per-view equivalent of WrestleMania.
Wait, but WrestleMania is a pay-per-view.
I don't know what it means either.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
I don't understand.
I think what they're trying to say is it has the same implications.
Yeah. This is basically WrestleMania.
Well, I think that they probably, a lot of people, when they heard the first one, it was very jarring when you heard them say as good or better than WrestleMania.
No, and I know why they're saying it is because they're trying to get rid of the stigma that it's just a house show with a lot of budget.
That's not why they're saying it.
It has to be.
No, the reason they're saying it is because they're making ridiculously more on it than they do on WrestleMania.
I don't know about that.
No, that is the reason. I'm not even, speculating.
Why would they need to tell people that?
It's not that they need to tell people that. It's that they're being paid to tell people that.
And now for the WWE's favorite band in the whole world.
I love that.
I will say that Goldberg versus The Undertaker has me intrigued.
You gotta wonder about it. You have to.
Not for any level I'm expecting some crazy work rate from either of them at all. But I want to see what happens.
I'll be honest with you. On Smackdown this week, when they finally had the face-to-face, I made a cool, kind of noise, That was the noise that you make. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's your noise.
Undertaker and Goldberg is the wrestling equivalent of a tightrope act.
Yeah.
You're going to watch it, and you're like, they may fall, but if they don't, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So it's like
Evel Knievel jumping like a huge barrier. And
if they crash, it's going to be a disaster.
And you know what? It'll be entertaining if they crash, too. I will say that, the promo between Randy Orton and Triple H this week was just kind of
it was so dumb. It was almost like they went out there. We have to say something.
Hey, we've been here.
Just go out there and talk about your balls.
I know you. You know me. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
They really are like, okay, we have to have some sort of something so people can use sound bites for our promo. We can't just reuse old audio clips like they did before the promo.
Yeah, no. Although I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know why I enjoyed it. Maybe
where did they lie?
I didn't think it was anything special. Yeah, it's another knock on Triple H's balls being in Stephanie's purse. How many times have we heard that before?
I more laughed at his response than the insult when he said something about
because you never had any or something.
He referred to his balls being really big, and
he
very
did
Vince
say that.
McMahon-like, and I was like, that reminds me of Vince McMahon. I like that.
But I also liked, because you could tell he was fucking with him when he threw the mic at him. Because he started smiling when he did it. Because he was just saying, he was being Big Brother Triple H to Randy Orton.
Roka said the same thing when he watched it. He thought for sure there was a little bit of Triple H kind of doing his own thing because he can.
Absolutely.
I think that so I feel like. Obviously,
first off, how are they going to keep? They want us to be invested in this 50-person battle royal. Notice that they're not calling it a Royal Rumble anymore.
No, I know, which I'm very happy about.
No, but did they call it a Royal Rumble at the last Super ShowDown? Because
it was called the greatest Royal Rumble. It was called the greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah. But I think it was like the Saudi Arabian the General Sports Authority,
And
they were probably like, oh, no. We don't want a better Royal Rumble. We want a better WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then the pay-per-view equivalent of WrestleMania.
And the Titus O'Neil slide was at Crown Jewel, right?
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh, so what?
Yeah.
So there was no Battle Royal at Crown Jewel?
No, there was the best in the world tournament.
Wait, what's this event called again? Is this Super Showdown?
Yeah.
This is Super Showdown.
The last Super Showdown was in Australia.
Which I thought was a smart move on their part to like confuse people, because I'll be honest, I was out of town when they made the announcement of like the name of it. I think that's when I was on vacation, and I was like, wait, they announced another Australia show. I was like, oh no, they just called the other Saudi Arabia show Super Showdown to kind of make you not realize that it was another Saudi Arabia show.
Was the last Super Showdown this time of year? Was it a year ago?
No. It was only like...
I'm so confused.
I don't think it was a year ago.
Yeah, they're not even having him yearly. They're having him like once every 6-7 months.
No, but he's saying the Super Showdown Australia one, not the Saudi Arabia one.
I thought you meant another Saudi Arabia.
2008 happened in October of 2018.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm every time one of these events has come up, both the Saudi events and the Australia event, I've kind of thought to myself, like, might be a big event. And then I start watching and I'm like, oh, this is like a glorified house show. Like every single time. It's like,
I didn't feel that way in any of these shows. Super Showdown, yes.
Like,
the first one, the Australia one.
I kind of felt like it was like, there's just nothing. It doesn't feel like anything is truly at stake on the show. Similar to like when you go.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Is that like if they want us to take it seriously, there's literally no stakes whatsoever.
Well, you cannot be advertising another pay-per-view after this one already. Like that's kind of one of the issues.
Hey, Stomping Grounds has the potential to be a 5-star event.
Put some respect on it.
It could also be a WrestleMania equivalent pay-per-view.
As good or better than Breaking Ground.
Did they really just like say, okay, well, we can't call it Great Balls of Fire again, so let's figure out something else?
Great Balls of Fire was a good name. They should have stuck with it.
Why didn't they?
I don't know.
Did they have to pay every year Jerry Lewis to use the rights?
Yeah.
Fuck knows. I don't even know on that one.
That's I would be curious as to like the list of pay-per-view events that have only been done once. Like I'm trying to think of other ones.
There was the one
Capital
that was
Punishment
Roadblock.
Dude, there's Roadblock,
which had no production whatsoever.
That was also like a network special.
The main event with Triple H versus Dean Ambrose.
I feel like there was a Raw versus SmackDown one that happened like circa like 2010, 2011.
Was Capital Punishment a one-time thing?
I think so.
With R-Truth versus John Cena?
I think so.
That happened.
Yeah. That's crazy. Hey,
I'm looking this up and it's so unimportant. I don't even know why. So we'll move on. But I want to say one thing. The reason I'm not. Do you guys feel like with the Super Showdown event that that it does feel a little more this time like their words are a little less empty than they felt in the past, since they are taking women out there with them, and from what I've been told, we reported this week on the site that WWE has been in contact with the Saudi General Sports Authority the past couple of months, trying to make this happen, to make it so that they can have a women's match on the card.
Yeah, tentatively it's going to be Natty and
Alexa Bliss,
right?
Mm-hmm. So
which is odd because like isn't Alexa injured or?
No, she got cleared.
She's good to go.
Okay.
But you'd think they should take it easy with her. I agree.
Yeah.
But that's probably why they put Natty with her.
She'll take care of anybody. Natty can get a good match out of anybody.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen yet, and because the show comes out the show's going to happen in a few hours after I publish this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if the women are going to wrestle on the show yet, so I feel like if we talk about this the whole time, it'll be irrelevant in like a few hours. So I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Well, also there's a whole lot of stigma there. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. That murder really, the timing couldn't have been worse for them.
Jamal Khashoggi?
Yeah, the timing couldn't have been worse. And I mean, everybody's going to have their opinions about whether or not what they're actually doing is trying to instill change or not. They very well could, or they very well couldn't. Who knows?
If it doesn't happen now, and it happens at any of the Saudi events in the future, they're going to be able, as WWE does, to spin the story in a super positive direction. It's like, hey, it took some time, but we finally did it.
That's kind of why I'm surprised that they're going to do it with zero build-up if they are able to make it happen.
Why would you build it up if like the rug gets pulled out from underneath it?
That is why they haven't done it. I mean, from what I'm told, like it's very much like 60-40, 70-30, 50-50. Like it's really been all over the place the past couple weeks.
It's 77-23.
I mean, it's probably by design. I mean, nothing they do with Brock Lesnar isn't. But it's just so crazy to me that a guy who's clearly a fan of his, Clearly, I mean, he keeps bringing him back. Brock Lesnar when he left, and it's strange to me to see that the role that he has is maybe a cash in, like not a match.
I'm surprised at that too. To be honest with you, but I think that I feel like.
So did they really have this Money in the Bank? Because he can't win.
I saw a thing online. I hadn't really thought about it, but this was just some random person's guess. It wasn't like any insight.
This was
just someone's guess, but it kind of made sense to me when I saw this person say that. Is that Seth's big cash-in was against
Brock Lesnar.
But he came in and didn't pin Brock, right?
Yeah, he pinned Roman.
So someone's guessing that Brock's going to come in during the match and do what Seth did at WrestleMania and pin Baron. And get the title back.
But
then
Seth
is once again in the chase.
Hey,
for the
people
title.
are gonna hate Baron Corbin even more after that.
Oh, I know they're gonna be so mad if that happens.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense.
No,
it does. It does a little bit, but it's you gotta think that. I don't know. It just really seemed like they put a lot of emphasis behind Seth being a fighting champion, B, Slay the Beast. It's on his T-shirt.
That's why I think
it's
it makes
on
the
his
most
shirt.
sense.
But no, it may make some sense, but at the same time, I just don't think that WWE will want to do that again. Like it's something that Brock Lesnar, whatever your opinions on him about the guy. When he does have the Universal Championship, it is sort of not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It just is.
It's not on the table.
Although, and I don't know if I'm assuming it's just because of the Saudi show, but he has been on Raw the past couple weeks.
It's 100% because of the Saudi show. Yeah. What do you mean?
Just saying, like
he all of a sudden is like, I should do more Raws.
What if they shelled out more money to get him to stick around for like
they
actual
set up
programs?
They set up a deal. Why? Why would they care? Because it doesn't affect them anymore. No, it doesn't make any sense. I guarantee it. I don't guarantee it because I wasn't there, but I am almost positive they structured this deal out to go from when he came back at was it Hell in a Cell or no? That's the first time he came back.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, when he came back and he did that, he's literally this contract in my head only goes to Super ShowDown.
Yeah.
Like literally, they said, okay, well, we need to build this in a month's time. So
that's why I think he's gonna. That's why I think he cashes in. He pins Baron.
Oh, he's gonna cash in,
and
of
then
course.
They've got your built-in SummerSlam main event:
Ugh.
Brock versus Seth.
Yeah,
It
just feels so routine. I feel like I feel like that's been the Brock story every single time. Can I get another one of those candies?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. I don't hate when Brock's champion as much as everyone else.
I don't either. It's just because I know what.
Especially with this wild card rule in place, I feel like having two champions is stupid.
Yeah.
So I feel like, great, let him go do his thing and have this aura, and he comes back and he's a main event at SummerSlam. And we have Kofi on both shows being the champion. That's awesome.
Nobody cares that much about the Universal Championship.
That's why I don't understand.
Sure. Nobody cares about it right now. But you can't sit here and think that the WWE is not actively trying to make this title fucking mean something.
Yeah.
But what if, because of the wild card rule, it becomes. I saw there was like a rumor that maybe there was going to be some kind of Legends title or something like that. My whole feeling this whole time has been like they need to transition that Universal title belt into being the part-timers belt. Like that's the belt that all the part-timers can wrestle over. And
what would you even call that?
Just keep it the Universal title.
Well, it's like the belt that you could, if you feel like challenging.
I think you have to be at a certain level. You have to have already held the WWE Championship in order to challenge for the Universal title.
You have to have reached the next stratosphere. I like to think about it like Captain Marvel in the Avengers. Captain Marvel's like, hey, I got to go out into deep space, deep into the universe. But when it counts, I'm going to come back and help you guys.
Brock Lesnar.
And like Hawkeye couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Hawkeye couldn't do that.
Brock Lesnar is the Captain Marvel of the WWE.
Yeah, he comes and goes. He comes back in, destroys the ship.
Where have you been for 10 years?
Yeah. Like, I've been out defending this across the universe.
But yeah, that's how I feel like. I feel like if you want to slowly transition, go ahead, like let him have the title again, and he comes in once in a while, and that's how that's the part-timers belt. And then Kofi is now in the wild card rule, so you already have a champion on both shows. And to me, it's been very annoying having two world champions on the show. It went from having like none to two, and you're like, okay, this is not what I wanted either.
I think it's really ignorant, and it's whether or not you agree with it or not, or whether you like it or not. if we think that that we're seeing the last few days of Brock Lesnar in the WWE until he decides to retire, I think it's very, very, very ignorant to think that. Because here's a few reasons. One, he's retired from MMA. He's announced it. He doesn't want to.
According to Dana White.
Well, he
hasn't said it.
Okay, well, he hasn't rebuked it.
He hasn't.
Yeah, he could very easily say, "I'm not retired."
Yeah.
Okay. So
there's no
that,
reason to though.
Whatever.
Money, negotiation reasons.
Yes. And then, so there. Also, getting punched in the face, not really, and then getting punched in the face legit. Like, okay, I get paid more to not get punched in the face repeatedly. Okay, let's go do that. And also, here's all these people saying he's a part-timer, he doesn't give a shit, he only shows up when he wants to, he's only here for the money. Here are two people it doesn't bother, and it's the only two opinions that matter. Vince and Brock.
Yeah.
They could give a flying fuck
Yeah.
what we think about that.
And also, you know what I find funny about it is, and people might think I'm crazy for this, but like, you always hear everyone say like, oh, there should be a lighter wrestling schedule. Oh, like wrestlers need to get paid more. Like, there should be an off season. Brock Lesnar is the only wrestler who's been able to achieve that status.
He's like empowered himself to have that detached from any of the asks of the company.
And he is shit on constantly for it.
I think that the reason is because everybody else doesn't get that privilege.
But I'm just saying it's because Brock has...
I think they're
Brock
they're
did
not
earn
mad.
that,
I don't
though.
think they're mad at him for having it. I think that they're mad that they don't have it as well.
I'm referring to the fans. All the
Well, I mean,
not so
that's-
much the wrestlers who are like, what the fuck? Because all of them wish they had that schedule. I'm talking
Absolutely.
about the fans who are like, wrestlers need to have more time off. Wrestlers should make more money. And then with Brock, he's like, look at me, guys. I was able to figure out a way to get more
exactly
time off.
what you said.
I was able to get more money. And they're like, fuck you. You're not
that's-
here enough.
well, also-
You don't care about wrestling.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. Is the fact that he doesn't give a shit about wrestling and the fact that he clearly doesn't care about the fans. I think it would. I'm not saying it would be a completely opposite situation if it were somebody like a I don't know, like a Daniel Bryan or something like that. Somebody who legitimately loves the business. Everybody's different, but I do think that it would be a little different if Brock showed a little more enthusiasm to the product. I think it would be different. Because when he first came back, those first few years, he's had that same schedule and nobody said anything.
Yeah.
I don't know this, but I think Brock is along the lines of an Undertaker where he adheres to kayfabe still. I truly believe that Brock is probably a nicer guy removed from wrestling. Not in wrestling because it's a cutthroat business and it's backstabby. I'm talking about removed from
I
wrestling.
feel like Boombox Brock is kind of looking like he's enjoying himself a little bit. You know, like he's dancing.
I'm aware that he's intense. Very intense. I'm just saying, removed from wrestling, I bet you he's probably a nice guy.
I'm sure he's a great guy to go fishing with.
That's what I mean.
Or hunting or chop down a tree.
Not talking about wrestling. I'm talking about removed. Because if you ask him one question about the business, I feel like he would literally
Clam up. Like
he would hate you instantly. Like, but I just like boys hanging out.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe. I have no clue.
We'll never
I've
know.
met him. I had that nightmare about him that one time. I would never go up to him and try and be friends with him. I'd be like, just keep your distance from Brock. He might eat you.
All right, well, moving topics here. Let's talk about these wild-ass Ric Flair videos that he's been posting for the past week. Have you guys seen these videos?
Yeah.
I've seen one.
Which one did you watch?
Just the one where he's talking about Shawn Michaels.
Okay,
For
okay.
whatever reason.
Like majorly late in the game.
Hey!
I just saw the video from years
It's a
ago.
little confusing that he's going off about the 30 for 30 that came out like
A year ago.
over a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
God.
It was,
I think it
was
came out,
years.
like,
I think
yeah,
it was 2016 or something like that.
2017, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's weird. So basically, for those of you who maybe didn't see the videos, Ric Flair, it started with
After his open heart surgery.
Well, he didn't have open heart surgery.
Whatever the fuck.
He went into the hospital to deal with some heart issues. He had a procedure. He says in the first video that he posted that it was a $1.8 million tune-up. And added, thank God for insurance. But,
Seriously.
yeah.
Shit, I want to know something that'll cover that. I want to know what policy that is to cover a $1.8 million procedure.
Yeah, it's good insurance.
Jesus.
So it starts with Back in Action Part 1, and he basically is thanking everyone for their support, and he's talking about this most recent hospital stay. there were kind of...
He said he talked to God.
He did say he talked to God. But before I get to that, he, there were differing reports on what happened. Myself and TMZ kind of had similar report on what was going on. But then Conrad said that it wasn't that big of a deal, that it was a pre-planned thing. And in this video, he makes it clear that, like, it was a miracle that he got through this again, that he was very close to death.
Wow.
And then he talks about how, like, this part was a little sad. He talks about how, like, he's not going to grow up. He did the whole, like, Peter Pan thing where it was like, I am not going to grow old. I pay doctors to make me again, and there's literally nothing they're going to say to stop me from being me. I'm going to live forever type stuff. Like, I'm young.
Like, what does that mean?
It means that, like I'm
he's
guessing
like
they
at a party
told him,
and stuff?
I'm guessing they told him, like, slow down.
Stop drinking.
Stop drinking.
Didn't that happen the last time, though?
Yeah, and he said he was going to give it up, and I don't think he has.
Ugh.
And so he's like, nope, I don't care. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep being Ric Flair.
I wonder if they've given him just like a really not so hot prognosis on like the time that he has left. And he's like, I'm going up like me.
Maybe. I mean, there's got to be a reason why he's just doing all these. I mean, he didn't make a bunch of videos when he made one video when he lived through that stroke or whatever that was.
But it's like 10 videos he's planning. I
know.
Think he said.
This is wild. I mean, this is like, what do they call that when like a murderer writes like a big
opus or something?
No, like a shit. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I can't remember the name of it. It's really bothering me.
Like usually mass murderers or like serial killers always write like a big statement.
Manifesto.
That's it. That's it.
I got that one.
It seems like a manifesto.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. It's weird because he basically, like you said, he talked. Well, in the first video, he didn't get into the God stuff yet, but he did say that while he was in the hospital, that he knows who wasn't there for him, and he was gonna be airing all this via YouTube, and then that's when the real shit has kind of started to go down. The next morning, he posted a video where he goes off on Shawn Michaels.
For being concerned about him.
Well, that's not what he's mad about Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels said something along the lines of, "I don't think that Richard Flair or whatever
he said
knows who he is actually."
Well, he said, "You're right, I don't."
Rick doesn't love Richard Flair. I don't know that he's ever taken the time to get to know him or to find out who in the world he is, and I didn't think it was that mean to say that. Like, no. I think it does seem like I feel like that's accurate.
Yeah. It's fairly accurate. I mean, I
don't know him, but it feels that way.
No, it is because there's a reason why. I mean, yes, because in Rick's mind, he is Ric Flair. He is the jet flying limousine ride, and that's why he had no money for a long time. It's because he was spending more than he was making,
and that's why he's saying that he's telling doctors that he doesn't care what they think, that he's going to keep being Ric Flair.
It's
I mean,
there's a whole mindset that you can't really change an old man's frame of thought.
No,
you can't. I mean,
my grandpa used to say crazy things.
Yeah,
before he died.
But at the same time, it's maybe these are thoughts that he's had for a while.
I mean, I guarantee you, the dude probably tried to kick the drink. And it's not an easy thing to do if that's been your livelihood.
Especially at 70, shit.
Like, he's been doing that for probably like 40 to 50 years. Like,
it's like one of those people that age when you try to get them to quit smoking. And they're like, well, I've been smoking my whole life.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I feel fine. So
yeah, and I like, whatever. If I go, I go. I had a great life.
And to some extent, too, somebody like Ric Flair is like, he's been living his gimmick so long. And it is the thing that affords him to live. And so in some ways, like, hey, nobody's wanting to buy a sober Ric Flair. Like, people want Ric Flair of old still. Like, that's what people are paying for still. So it's like, I get him kind of pursuing like this personality he's been for so long.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, there are people in his era who have toned back the nature of the way they were.
All of
them.
Yeah,
pretty much all of them.
Well, Hulk Hogan still lives his gimmick.
Well, yeah, but
it's not the same. His gimmick isn't being like a 20-year-old.
It's not a detriment to his health.
Yeah, it's like his gimmick isn't a Gatorade bucket full of vodka soda.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, that
a lot of limes in that bucket.
Imagine drinking that.
Hey, imagine getting that dumped on your head. My eyes, I'm blind.
That's why I love every time you go back and watch any wrestler getting sprayed with champagne.
They're like,
especially Hogan, you see him go.
Andre's just like spraying it directly in his face. The same thing I saw one with Steamboat the other day too.
Yeah, him, Luger.
Yeah. We should spray each other in the face with champagne.
No, let's not.
You can do it to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
I like how quickly we agreed to that one.
I want to see what it feels
If you
like.
were coming to the Limp Bizkit show with us this weekend,
We're
we
not
could do
going to
it.
find a bottle of champagne there.
You
Sponsored
never
by
know.
Bud Light.
It could be in the...
Hey, Bud Light Lime is not a suitable replacement for a bottle of champagne.
You don't know what Limp Bizkit has on their rider.
I don't.
Jamie could probably get in their green room and
It
steal a bottle.
might be a nice bottle of champagne too. I'll take it. That's probably
I don't know. I don't drink with Fred all that often, but he seems like a whiskey guy to me.
Yeah.
He's from He's from a redneck fucker from Jacksonville.
I just picture they have it on the rider. Like, you know how they put cool stuff on the rider?
Well, half of them are sober.
True.
Because John Otto went to rehab, and I think
he
DJ
did?
Lethal did
I
too.
think that
yeah.
every rock star, typically if they are, these people all become sober at a certain point because they're like, hey, I'm gonna die.
Wes
Yeah.
Borland still does the makeup, though, right?
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
don't think he's. I don't know if he's sober. He still does outlandish outfits
Okay.
and stuff. Yes.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, he will be. He will be dressed. I don't know how, but he will be dressed. It's always different.
On back to Ric Flair, I
want to talk about Wes Borland more.
Wait,
Eli.
are we out in the normal crowd zone, or do we
Nope.
have fancy Oh, fuck yeah, cool. Fuck yeah.
I
don't think I've ever done that at a
when
cool
we would
concert
watch
like that.
when we would watch WCW, and this is like late '90s or mid to late '90s. I remember my dad always saying like Ric Flair is going to die in the ring, and in some ways, I think that Flair probably
would like to
or wishes he had. It's like being
yeah.
put out like an old cowboy doesn't want to get put out to pasture. He wants to die in a gunfight.
Well,
you know?
even
like,
Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose said in his interview, he's like, Vince McMahon's gonna die in that chair.
Yeah.
That's
their purpose. It's like when somebody, it's like when somebody gets out of prison and they're an old person. It's just like, how do you get back into society as somebody that you're not anymore? And that's where Ric Flair is at. It's like
Truly.
Like how does sober Ric Flair?
How does Ric Flair without a championship live?
Yeah, without the ring. Without like the thing that
through his daughter, who is the top. One
You
of the top.
But he even then he had to be her manager.
No, but like you could just sit on the sidelines and enjoy
but
life.
You're saying that as somebody who probably has a very supportive father and who is there for you through ups and downs in person.
Hello, Daddy's listening probably.
And Ric Flair probably wasn't. So like, there's probably a lack of attachment that he has outside of seeing his audience. I'm not saying he's not proud of her, but I guarantee you that there's part of him always, every single time he's proud of her, that wishes that it was him there instead too. I mean, that's Ric Flair. Ric Flair wants to be in the ring. It's like he still talks about wanting to get in the ring.
Do you think?
Could bring him back for a Saudi show?
No, but let's say they did. Like, they're not. But let's say they did. Shawn Michaels and Flair, right? Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Do you think... Okay, let's say not Shawn Michaels. Let's say Ric Flair and like an AJ Styles. Like someone right now. Wait real fast. Do you think they would have a good match?
No.
Do you think Ric Flair could possibly pull out a good
I don't think Ric Flair can run anymore. And you
need to run?
He needs to run the ropes. That's like if you think about Ric
That's a
Flair,
basic part.
Ric Flair's got to be able to. There's a couple things he's got to be able to do. He's got to hit that silly back body drop.
He definitely can't do that flipping over the buckle over the top
all
rope
the
thing
things
where he
that
gets whipped into the corner.
Like what can
He
he
can
do?
chop and he can figure 4 leg locks.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know if he can figure 4. You think he'll be able to get up afterwards?
He can figure 4 leg locks.
Like he's on his back, giving a figure 4, and he wins. And you're telling me he's on his back in a prone position, a 74 or 5-year-old man won't need the referee to come pick him up?
Roll out the ring, stand up on the outside.
When has that ever happened?
Wait, so are you surmising though that Ric Flair wins the match too?
Obviously.
Like Ric Flair beats AJ
So he
Styles.
takes no bumps. None.
Takes no bumps.
What, are you saying that AJ Styles gonna hit the Styles Clash on Ric Flair?
At least a phenomenal
I
forearm.
think that he could hit both of those on him. I think that Styles could do a lot of his offense.
The
on Ric
forearm
Flair.
for sure. He could
can
barely
take the
kiss
forearm.
him with
He
the
can take
forearm.
I do think that Ric Flair would take some bumps. He would be willing to. I just don't know that he could get up.
That's my point.
Like,
he wants to. The want is there. No question.
Like I feel like if Ric Flair fell over, he'd be like a Jenga tower. He would just break to pieces the second he hit the ring.
all
He
that
got dragged by Batista just fine.
That's getting dragged on the ground.
and he was probably already on the ground.
That was probably not even him. That was probably like a realistic sex doll.
I'd say he could probably get a 3-star match.
And by the way,
I would watch it for sure.
It's
I was
and by the way,
low-key
I want to make
worried
sure
that's what that promo, that's what that video on Ric Flair or Shawn
well,
Michaels
also,
was about.
I also want to just make it very clear, at least from my point of view, is that I'm not trying to knock Ric Flair. This isn't something me trying to say like,
of
oh,
course
that you're like a stupid idiot for doing this stuff. No, I'm legitimately worried about this.
I am too.
Like this,
and we're
like,
joking and stuff about other things, but I fear too when he says like I'm never gonna get young or listen to doctors. That's troublesome. It's worrisome.
It's also the opposite of what's happening because he's clearly a very old man.
Yes.
Like he can't be like I'm never getting young. It's like.
Well, you're not going to get any
I'm never getting old.
And then he posted a whole video about his ex-manager, like accusing her of embezzlement.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which, if he didn't talk to his lawyer, he could get in a lot of trouble for that.
He claims in the video multiple times that he did speak to his lawyer, and he says like he's like straight up challenging his ex-manager, like go ahead. Call so-and-so. Call so-and-so. They're the best lawyers. And he's like, he says it so many times. It's like a 20-minute video. And he's like saying all these things.
Who's his lawyer? Clarence Mason?
He says the guy's
David
name.
Otunga.
And he keeps saying like, call my lawyer. Here's his name. Blah, blah, blah.
The lawyer's like,
any good lawyer would be like, why would you even say that?
2 days later, video got pulled.
Yep.
of course.
So,
yes.
So I have a hard time believing that he did, to be honest.
Because any good lawyer will, even if they know, they'll win it. Even if they know it's a closed, signed, sealed, delivered. If their client is going to be the defendant, they're going to want to avoid that.
Yeah.
Because he would be the defendant in that case.
Yeah.
He'd be a libel suit.
Hey, shut up, Rick.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Before we run out of time
Wait, what
here-
did he say about God?
Oh,
I didn't see that.
Sorry.
You didn't even mention what he said about Shawn.
Well, about Shawn, he basically said that Shawn wasn't there for him. Well, no, we did talk about.
No, you said what Shawn said about him.
Oh, well, he said about he got very angry back at Shawn. He got very Ric Flair like and was saying the typical things that like, who are you that to judge me, and
Like
that,
you wouldn't be who you are without me.
you
idolized me.
idolized me. You wanted to be me, and now you don't know. But it's frustrating because I don't feel like he understood what Shawn Michaels was trying to say.
And also, the documentary came out 2 years ago. Why are you making this a thing now?
Yeah.
I do think that it's maybe partly from what you guys said that he's just like fuck it, like
he's donezo.
He's done.
Just like,
not that I don't know if he got bad news, but I do think that maybe he's just like fuck it. Like who cares? I'm just gonna fucking say it.
He's living the gimmick,
Also about the God thing, he basically said that when he was in a coma, he said he was in a coma for 12 days during the last medical scare.
Yeah.
And that while he was there, he came face to face with God and like met God.
And you need to hang out with Enzo Amore more. That's what he told him.
Although he did call out when he was talking about how he's never going to grow old. He was like, I hang out with The Miz. I hang out with Enzo Amore.
Do you think
I'm sure Mike
I hang out
loved
with
putting.
Offset.
I'm sure Mike loved being included into
think-
that.
I know.
circle.
Do you think the God that he met was the same one that Vince McMahon and Shane beat?
I hope so.
That would be great.
Who have you beat, God?
Go avenge me, Rick. Have one more match. It could be 3 stars.
Yeah, Shawn lost the match for me, so I need you to attack him, Rick.
Before we run out of time here, I want to see what you guys think about this. So during the NXT TakeOver event this weekend, it was announced.
I think I had 2 of those.
It was announced that NXT UK is having another takeover, and it's taking place the same day as AEW's All Out, but hours before, earlier in the daytime. And when Triple H
in a
was
different country.
in a different country, but they're both airing like on easily, WWE Network and pay-per-view. So I mean, like, they're both going to be fighting for coverage. They're both going to be fighting for who's the biggest spots of the weekend, that night, and who they want to be talked about more than the other company, obviously, before you get to that. And so Triple H talked about this after the show. He was asked pretty no one asked directly about it, but he kind of wanted to talk about it. And he basically said, he claimed that it was, had nothing to do with any other company, but that they are looking to make a statement that day and send a message back across the pond saying, follow that. What do you think about them doing that?
I have thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, you look perplexed. Not perplexed. You got a lot of thoughts.
The the quality of matches, I can't say.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying. The NXT UK locker room is pretty stellar. They put on some bangers. Be that as it may. They do not have the star power AEW does.
No, or the momentum by any stretch of the imagination.
Will the matches be as good or maybe better? Time will tell. It has the potential, no question. But more people know who the Young Bucks are than Ligero Jr., you know?
Yeah, but I would say NXT UK has more awareness than AEW.
No, definitely not. The NXT UK is the lowest on the totem pole of all
but
WWE's
it's still part
brands.
of the WWE brand, which
I know that, but
millions
I
upon
guarantee
millions.
that,
I mean, the WWE Network has 2 million subscribers.
But
You can argue that, but that doesn't mean they're watching everything.
But I would wager this.
Awareness. I'm talking about awareness, not who's watching it.
If you brought NXT UK to the same venue that AEW is going to be performing in, they wouldn't sell it out the same way.
Agreed.
AEW has momentum. The AEW is hot right now. NXT UK is a good thing. But it's not hot like AEW is. No. AEW has like nothing but heavy winds behind its sails right now. And so like the idea of like, hey, we're gonna make a statement, follow that.
Don't make it with that show.
No, it's just like it's like to some extent not to criticize the brand, but
not
it'd be
at
like,
all.
Hey, 205 Live on pay-per-view. Follow that.
Get ready.
Performance-wise, maybe it will be difficult, but on a level of entertainment, what people are actually excited to see, people aren't nearly as excited to see that. Like they're excited to see AEW because it's new and it's different. It's stuff under the WWE banner. People are tired of WWE. That's why their ratings have dipped. People are exhausted.
But I don't think people are tired of NXT.
No, but I think that
this is NXT UK. I get it.
NXT UK has a lot less awareness and
than NXT.
Public interest than NXT.
Awareness is different than the amount of people watching it.
Awareness
and people watching are very different. Awareness,
I think you'll be truly surprised to see how many people, like current WWE subscribers and watchers, that like say you're little Timmy from Wisconsin, 12 years old.
Yes.
I would be surprised if he watched NXT to UK.
Watching it in awareness,
or even knew what it was,
because WWE is sending out emails all the time to their millions of
Timmy
followers.
does not get emails.
Timmy gets emails.
Timmy's mom gets emails.
No, Timmy gets emails too.
He's
12 years old.
Hey,
my 12-year-old step sibling doesn't get emails.
He doesn't get emails?
No, he doesn't have
I don't believe you.
I would suggest.
Wait. Your 12-year-old stepbrother doesn't have a phone? I don't believe
First
that.
off, he's 11.
Is that okay? He's your stepbrother.
Yes.
He doesn't have a phone?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Well, yeah, because it's not so much more because he doesn't want he's not old enough for it, but it's because of social media.
Oh, so your parents don't want him to have one because of social media?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Most kids now at that age have cell phones.
To get in contact with them, one-way call.
I'm gonna drop another one right here too, and you're gonna not agree with this, Ryan. I would say that even if it was regular NXT, people would still be more excited for AEW at this point.
Yes.
AEW has
you can't argue that.
A public windfall behind it, dude. Ambrose.
You went.
No, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is AEW's had one show, and I loved it.
Yeah.
TakeOver's had 25 takeovers, right? And
that's
they've
why.
All been bangers.
That's what. But that's why there's been so
bangers.
many.
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't think anyone isn't expecting a dope show from TakeOver. I mean,
it'll probably be great.
I like TakeOver.
It'll probably be
just as much as I like.
We're not like we said. This has nothing to do with match quality. The matches will be great, no question.
I'm talking about just in terms of enjoyment.
I think that
it's hard to choose between TakeOver and Double or Nothing. No, I literally got so much shit this week.
Well, I get it. I get why, because I don't agree with you. I think that NXT UK. I don't think people care
not
about
UK. No, I said NXT TakeOver. Regular TakeOver.
I mean,
not UK. I'm just saying.
I get it though.
TakeOver 25 versus Double or
because
Nothing.
again, it's just like there have been 25 takeovers.
That's what I'm saying.
There's been one AEW show so far,
and they knocked it out of the park.
And not only that, but what they walked away from with that was extreme public knowledge of what they were doing.
Do you think more people watched Double or Nothing than TakeOver 25?
If more people watched TakeOver, it's because Double or Nothing was $50 or $60.
Fair. Yeah,
what was their buy rate? Wasn't it just around
I think it was
100,000?
Is what Meltzer claimed, I believe.
Because I guarantee it was pirated by 80% of the people who watched it.
Absolutely. No, it's not that
I know. Obviously, you love AEW, and not only that, everything that it represents. But I just think that I will also offer, too, just on a completely side tangent about this same topic, them saying that, it was planned before, bull, like, that's not true. Like, that's, like, I mean, this is no...
it's the same weekend. It's the same weekend that they had Double or All In. Of course they were going to have the same event that same weekend.
Like, this is no different than, them planning Survivor Series the same day or Royal Rumble the same day as Starrcade, back in 1988 or whatever.
And that's why they put up their third brand, their third brand up against it to, like, as a test of like, hey, let's see. Yeah. Just with this one, with the small firepower we have with this one, let's see type thing. I would imagine. I definitely am excited for that day. I think it's gonna be a dope day of wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
It's my birthday, so
nice.
It's always a good day.
Birthday.
Yeah, it's a good birthday for sure. Although I don't know if I'm gonna fly to Chicago now because
it's your birthday.
Because I gotta cover both shows now. So
we could just have a day-long birthday party for you.
We've had this conversation last time we talked about Double or Nothing. Like, I don't need to be at every show. Like now that they're in the motion, now that they're in the groove of things.
Are you gonna be like the dude who showed up in the front row at ECW all the time?
Yeah, we don't need to do like, we were there for the first one, and it was dope. We don't need to be at every single thing.
No, come on, you guys. Let's watch it and eat pizza together.
I text you guys about this thing. I got in trouble.
That pizza place was good when we had before All In.
It was.
That place was good.
That place was good. Mm-hmm. No, I had so many dumb tweets thrown at me this week over...
This week.
Yeah, I know. Because Bully Ray asked on Twitter, he said, which show did you like more, TakeOver or Double or Nothing? And I replied saying, this is like Sophie's Choice, but for wrestling. And I think the Auschwitz Museum tweeted me and was like, we don't think this analogy is funny. Like,
the Sophie's Choice thing.
Because, like...
You didn't mention that.
No, I did.
Did you?
I said, yeah, I said this was like Sophie's Choice, but for wrestling.
No, I'm saying, did you mention that when you were just talking about it just now? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
I'd never seen the movie, so I can't say.
But you've heard the phrase, right?
No.
You've never heard someone say that's a real Sophie's Choice?
I've heard it, but I don't know what it means because I've never seen the movie.
Well, it's because...
I feel like it's one of those things that, like, when you were asking
I have never used it.
when you asked me, it's like, should I be saying this? Immediately in my head, I was like, if you're asking me, you're probably already getting flack, so the answer is going to be no, you shouldn't have said it. But that having been said, it's just like, dude.
I've heard that saying my whole... Also...
I think it's one of those...
my family's Jewish. Like, I grew up in a Jewish family. I celebrate all the major Jewish holidays. I would never in a million years make light of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And also, I always would tweet me like, why are you making Holocaust jokes? And I'm like, I didn't make any jokes about the Holocaust.
Been like him celebrating the career of Meryl Streep.
Basically, the movie Sophie's Choice is about a woman who has to make the choice of whether to send one of her kids. She's at the concentration camp, and she has to send one of her kids to the labor camp, and she has to send one of her kids to the gas chamber.
I've heard about this.
Yes.
This was like a real thing that happened.
No, it's a fictional story. It's not a real... I mean, I'm sure many people in that had to do similar things. I have heard horrible things from family members who had stories.
I've heard that story,
but this was a fictional story, and
as we're saying this, Eli's laughing. Wow.
But I do get why people would get like their panties in a bunch about it because it's like, this is like Sophie's Choice, like. It's not that drastic.
Yeah, Sophie's Choice was really like, okay, which one of my kids is gonna die?
But it's a phrase that has become a pop culture. Like it's a very popular phrase.
Well, I would also offer that maybe in a Jewish household it's heard a little bit more often. And so that may be
my dad has said that my whole life.
I do not want to see that movie. That sounds like a horrible day at the office.
Because I know the premise, I have never actually watched it because it sounds very sad. But
it's why I won't watch.
Is because I've grown up in a Jewish household that like. Saying it's like
shit like that affects me. That's why I won't watch Black Mirror anymore because I get depressed every time I watch that show.
You're not gonna watch the new season?
No, dude. Because every episode's like, I'm a fucking doll now and I can't talk anymore. Like it's the end of every episode. It's like, oh my,
true.
Literally,
I'm
like
a
there's
doll now and I can't talk.
No, but it's so true because like in the new episode, I won't spoil anything really, but like. The Miley episode is doll related, and right when they introduced a doll, Eric kind of looked at each other and we were just like, oh no, like
something's gonna happen.
We know where
this
is going.
But no, I can't watch the show because literally every ending is like super sad.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
And long story short, keep the Sophie's Choice reference in the household.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
maybe.
lesson learned. Sorry, Auschwitz Museum. I apologize.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't forget the past.
No, I know.
Especially if we're going to move into a beautiful tomorrow.
Correct. Okay. Well,
So we can watch Stomping Grounds.
Yeah.
speaking of moving into a beautiful tomorrow, we only got a little bit of time left here since Jamie has somewhere he's got to be.
I pushed it to 7. We could.
Oh,
keep
you
going.
did?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, in that case, shit. What did I just delete from here? I was like, sorry, I thought I was gonna have to skip ahead here. What do you guys think about? Should we? I don't even know if I want to talk about this Jim Cornette Sunny Kiss thing. It's just so silly.
Yeah. I don't
Same
care.
with that fan thing with Bully Ray. I don't care. It's no offense, Josh, but I don't. It's like a unnecessary drama that I just don't feel.
I think both of them, it gets to a certain point where like these topics are just like exacerbation.
And then we become a gossip mag.
No, and it's just
You know,
like, and the thing is like, what we don't need to cover every offensive thing that happens, you know?
I agree. So let's move on. I watched, and I don't know if you probably didn't see it yet, Eli, but I know you watched Jamie.
What I did? What pulled up my pants and did the Muscle Man dance?
That was so good.
Hell yeah, it was.
That was so good. Jon Moxley winning the IWGP United States title. What'd you think about the match, Jamie, while you're doing your dance over
Doing
here?
the Muscle Man dance, and I pulled up my pants. What I think of the Dean Ambrose Juice Robinson match, it was fun. I mean, like, when I saw what you were saying, like people were saying it was like the greatest match ever. I didn't know that was what everybody was going for. I didn't think going into this that like this was at the best of the Super Juniors. This isn't Dominion. This isn't Wrestle Circuit.
Yeah.
I mean, Wrestle Kingdom. Like so. I was
Also, like I think it's not fair to look to a Jon Moxley match and be like, oh, we're getting a totally different work rate. It's like I'm not saying that his work rate was completely, sniffed in WWE, but at the same time, it's like I never really watched Dean Ambrose in WWE for a 5-star match.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of, when Kevin, and he's gonna listen, he's gonna be mad that we were shit talking him, the three of us outside.
It was a
of the
fun
group chat.
match.
But Kevin was like, "That's what I'm talking about" in our group chat, and I was thinking like, I was like all pumped to watch the match, and then I finished the match, and it was a great match. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought it was a great match. I think Juice Robinson's awesome. Like I love
the biting his eyebrow spot was crazy.
Great. I loved how. I also thought it was a nice touch where the way he did the way he did his finisher.
The regular dirty
deeds didn't work, so he had to like make it different outside
the
of
Death
WWE.
Rider.
Yeah, exactly. So I liked that,
Which is a great finisher name, by the way. The Death Rider.
Agreed. Yeah. And that like elevation to the double arm DDT did make it look.
It's
really
like
cool.
a hybrid between the implant DDT and the double arm.
Yes,
it's like how Gangrel used to kind of lift the guy in the air, and
I used to love Gangrel's DDT. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was definitely along those lines. But yeah, I didn't feel like there was like this drastic difference from what he had been doing in WWE. It seemed like he did some moves he wasn't allowed to do in WWE. He did the STF because he was allowed to do that again because he can't.
I think the fact that he was able to, I mean, not able to, is just a choice that he made. I think the fact that he showed up in shorts really took a lot of people aback. Like, oh, we haven't seen that before. I think that really kind of put him.
I mean, that will change things up pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Remember when Jericho came back and he started wearing shorts all of a sudden after he hadn't worn shorts for like ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trunks, not even shorts. Trunks.
Trunks.
Honestly, it's crazy how just something like that can make you feel a little refreshed, though, and how that's why Jericho always does that, because it makes it kind of feel a little new.
Yeah,
and I think that's he's definitely copying a Jericho playbook, but even though he's going back to old gear, but it's like, yeah, I mean, this is like,
and wasn't this the first match he's ever had since he left WWE?
This is his first post WWE match.
Okay, so why are we expecting fucking like him to jump through fire and stuff? Like,
I wasn't at all. I was more so just making sure it wasn't just me, because Kevin in the group chat was like, "That's what I'm talking about."
It was good. Don't get me wrong, and I'm all happy. I'm very happy for Dean. I mean, I love a guy who's love for, because I mean, I wish I was here last week when you guys probably talked about the Jon Moxley podcast a little more.
Which
I wish I was.
That show did really good on YouTube, by the way, guys. I guess guy, because you weren't here for it, but it did. I was shocked at how well it did.
I really wish I was, because everything that I'm not going to, because I should have brought this up at the beginning of the show, but everything. The reason why I'm happy for him is because literally everything he said, I was in a different role in a completely different environment than Dean Ambrose was.
Yeah.
But the sentence he said, every Monday morning, I woke up with a sick feeling in my stomach. I had that same feeling. That same feeling. And I almost fell out of wrestling. The same thing that he did.
Yeah.
And I know what that, like, when he said, like, when you literally, the day after you know that you're not under that umbrella anymore, you feel like 1,000 pounds have gotten lifted.
That's what Dustin said as well.
The day I got back to LA after I left WWE and I stepped on the tarmac of LAX, I literally felt like 80 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
And that's
your
why,
spirit lifted.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And I know that's how Dean feels right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm all for him feeling that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I embellished on Kevin's words a little much. All he said was that Juice Moxley match got me all rocked up, guys. But which I get.
I mean,
I get. So, but I did see a lot of people acting like as if it was a huge difference, and in my opinion, I didn't really notice that big of a difference.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you guys think about some of these name changes that went down in WWE. Let's just start with the most recent one. I posted it right before we started the show. DJ Z has a new name, Joaquin Wilde. What do you guys think about that? Taking out the Z, no Z in the name whatsoever.
Then he just becomes Joaquin when he gets signed up to the main roster.
I feel like Wild makes more sense.
I think,
but then that's just an adjective.
He's the wild child, Joaquin. Yeah, they'll just switch it around. The wild child.
I mean, I like it. Joaquin Wild. That's like Walking Wild.
I don't know much about DJ Z enough to form an opinion on him. I wasn't a big Impact guy, so I don't really know that much about him. I know that he was at the Bullet Club thing for a second.
He was at the Bullet Club
That's all
thing
I remember.
for a second.
Yeah.
I didn't.
How long was he with TNA? He was with TNA for a long time, like many years.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Didn't he do like a planche onto somebody and paralyze somebody once?
No, he almost got he got super injured. Remember, his insides were all blowing up or something with some weird dive gone wrong or something, right?
I don't recall. I just
we talked about it a bunch. Yeah, he was suffering from PTSD, fractured colon, and internal bleeding. That was in 2017.
Do not want.
No.
Pull the next buck.
Okay, so then the other one is Trevor Lee. Also got a new name. You're familiar with him though, right? Kinda. Still not.
Not Keith Lee?
No.
What's his new name?
Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes.
Show me what Trevor Lee looks like.
This one.
Oh yeah, the guy who does Tanahashi's gimmick. The air guitar?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Wait, you're talking about that's that guy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this guy.
Oh, I thought they were the same person.
No, those are two separate people.
I thought he got a haircut or something.
No, the one on the right's Eric Bugenhagen. This one's Trevor Lee.
I don't know who Trevor Lee is.
Grimes' last name because it reminds me of Frank Grimes from The Simpsons.
I kind of like it because it makes it grimy, and so I feel like he could use that.
Like what's his gimmick?
I learned your name. I learned your name. The least you could do is learn mine.
Hey, grimy.
And I'm guessing the Cameron part's a shout out to North Carolina because I think that's where he's from. So I got that part. That Bugenhagen guy though, I was surprised they changed his name.
I did see they changed his name, which was weird. I don't know why.
They changed it to Rick Boogs. My only thought process is that they changed it because they were doing the whole Boogs Cruise thing. Like they were trying to get that over as his nickname or a saying for him.
Anytime a WWE superstar has a party crew with them, it always works. Adam Rose.
No.
No way, Jose.
He himself was just the Boogs Crew.
Oh,
he didn't have a whole crew. He was just a lone cruise.
That doesn't work.
But I think it makes sense.
Maybe they worried that the Bugenhagen last name was too close to Haagen-Dazs. I don't know. They were we don't want him to be an ice cream man over there. Maybe they were worried that Vince was going to be like, Bugenhagen-Dazs, he'll drive an ice cream truck down to the ring.
Oh, that's true.
That might be cool. And he can throw ice creams at people.
Bugenhagen could have just been a cool name on its own, to be honest with you.
It sounds like a rocker name, actually.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Dutch metal guy.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody who would drink Jaeger and play guitar.
And then some of the other names weren't that. They weren't people that
And a
are
couple
known.
other people got their names changed too.
Yeah,
They're probably
no
gonna
one
listen to
really
the
cares
future.
about
Mike got changed to Matt.
Yeah, I think that's all we got here. Jay, where can people find you on the internet?
All right. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at JAMIE_IOVINE or on Instagram at JAMIEIOVINE. Check out Network, NTWRK every week. We got new drops coming every week. Some dope stuff. We just had some stuff with Antonio Brown. We have some stuff coming out with SpongeBob. We have some stuff coming up with Family Guy, tentatively. We have some stuff coming up with LeBron James again. We just implemented our raffle system. We're raffling. I mean, when you enter in the app, you enter in automatically to win the. I mean, not automatically. You could sign up for it. I'm sorry, misspoke. But you sign up and you can win a really hard sought after item. That's like one of 25 or like one of 15. Like Eminem's Jordans. He only made 25 of them. You know.
Wow.
So
Can you give me one?
no, I can't.
Can you
even
give
get
me
one? Just tune into Championship Wrestling from Hollywood every Sunday on Fight. Support indie wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Eli?
Twitter at Elijah Bates, Instagram at Brindlebeard.
You can follow me. I'm at Ryan Satin on social media, ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's the website where you can find all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling throughout the week. At Wrestling Sheet on social media, YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where you can find the Raw and Smackdown recaps we do every week. That's where you can find the video of this show. But if you just want to listen to the audio, go search on all the major podcast platforms for Wrestling Sheet Radio. That's iTunes, Podcast One, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you listen to it on. There's probably a 99% chance you'll find this on there. So go make sure you subscribe. All right, that's it. I'm done. Officially tapping out for now. Until next time, stay out of the dirt and keep your eye on the sheet.